Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2194, bringing Zephy home. So, if you've been watching, you know that Zephy passed a week ago today. She went at 2:28 in the morning on Sunday, last Sunday, and took her body in and all of that sort of stuff. And today I got to bring home her footprint, her paw print, and I'll show you that in a moment. But this week, we're actually starting a day early on our topic for this week. And the only reason we're starting it today is because of what I'm talking about today. But also, I feel led to do this topic coming up this week. And this week, we're going to be doing the shape of grief, starting with today, because grief doesn't follow a straight line. It loops, lingers, softens, and sometimes surprises us. And I can totally agree with that. This week, we'll explore many ways grief shows up and how love, memory, and meaning can still find their way through. So that's what we're looking at this week, and today is episode 1, bringing Zephy home. Oh, I'm going to be a mess on this one, I can tell you that right now. But today marked 1 week since Zephy passed, and I got to bring her paw print home today. And I went to the emergency vet place, and this is what they brought out to me, this beautiful little bag with the little paw print and a heart, and it's up here. What is that thing? It says, built on trust. And on the other side is the name of the vet's place and the pet that is inside, and it's even got a barcode and everything, so it's completely tracked. In here, I had some sympathy cards sent to me, so I put them in there so I wouldn't lose them. But they give you a brochure on understanding loss and what happens next. They give you this cute little satin bag. And in there they have, I was going, what the heck's this? It's a little stand to display Zephy's paw print on. So I thought that was really cute. And it's in this pretty little bag. And then there is the box with the paw print in it. But what I did with this is when I got to the car, is I went around to Zephy's side of the car, which is on the passenger side. I opened the back door. I still have everything set up in the back for her, although I did take out the water bowl and the flask that had the cold water and stuff in there. But the seat buckle, her leash to buckle onto her harness was still in there. The bed piece was still in there. If you go onto my Facebook page, you'll see the photographs of it. But I actually took the leash part and threaded it through sat this when Zephy normally sits, threaded this through the handle and up through one of the buckle pieces on the back of the seat and brought it back down. So there was no way this was going to fall over while driving. So we took her right home today. So this is how the box looks. It's got her paw print on it. They did an awesome job, and I'm probably going to cry when I open this again. Already going. Actually, let's back up a little bit because I need to calm down a little bit. So I started the day off when I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock like I normally. Actually, I woke up at 4:30. No, 5 o'clock, the alarm woke me up, so 5:07. I thought, I'm just going to lay here and read for a little bit. And then I thought, when was the last time I laid in? I thought, I don't remember the last time I laid in. I thought, I really don't feel like getting up. I feel tired, so I'm going to sleep a little longer. I didn't have anywhere to be. I had no appointment set up for today. I just had a couple of things to do. 1, get the mail, and 2, pick up Zephy's paw print. And so I ended up laying in bed and not getting up till after 10 o'clock. And as I was getting dressed and everything, getting ready for the day and everything else, I thought to myself, when was the last time I laid in until 10 o'clock? And I thought the entire time I've had Zephy, we were up. I mean, a sleep-in for us was 7 a.m. And because she had to go out. So that was our longest ones that we'd ever, I think we might have squeezed an 8 o'clock one in there at some point. But today I was till 10 o'clock. And I thought, I have not, and I still felt a little tired when I got up, but I thought, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go and have some breakfast and whatnot, and then just carry on. And then as soon as I've had breakfast, I'm going to head out and go and pick up Zephy's paw print and get my mail. And that's basically what I did. But it was refreshing to be able to just be lazy today. Now, normally I'm up at 5 o'clock anyway. It doesn't matter what day of the week I'm up at 5 o'clock. For me, a sleep in is 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Today, I just really overslept. It was 10 o'clock before I got up. And like I said, it was well before I got Zephy when I had Zephy for 2,080 days. And so it's been at least that, it's been over that long since I stayed in bed till 10 o'clock in the morning. There has been times where we went out for walks and came back and I went and laid on the bed, but not got back into it. Just because I was just super tired for whatever reason. It could have been that we had arrived at the campsite the day before. And my body needed that day to recover for the whatever, if we were leaving the next day or whenever. But we always got up, went out for our walk and our exploration and stuff, and then came back and had breakfast. And sometimes I felt like going and having a lay down, so I'd just go lay down. And that was how it is. So today, after that, I totally know I did this in the wrong order. I went and picked up Zephy first, then I went and got the mail. And as I was getting back in the car after the mail, I thought, I really should have gone and got the mail first, then gone and got Zephy and gone home. So I kind of did that back to front, but it is what it is. So this is the beautiful box that this paw print comes in. I like that I don't have to take this off. And then if we open it up, it's got the protective fluffy bit there. And then here's my Zephy's paw print. Look how beautiful that is. And that's her paw print. Oh, that's my Zephy's paw print. So I got to bring that home today. And it is, oh, there's a number on the back. There's a number stamped on the back here. I wonder if anything happens to this one, if you can go back and quote them this number, if they can do another one. But there's my Zephy girl's paw print. So I got to bring her home today. And got home and had lunch and then thought, all right, I got to go. I put off checking this as long as I could. And I went and I sat in the chair here in Zephy's, my recliner, but Zephy's chair. As if you've been watching over the last 2 years that we've been in this place, how much she would lay in that chair and just have her head up there on the armrest, just watching what was going on. There's a bit of her fur stuck in this. Cool. And I just sat there and I opened this. I opened up the cards, opened up this, and just sat there and had a really good cry this afternoon. It was afternoon by the time I got home. I was thinking of stopping off somewhere on the way home and getting lunch. And then I thought, no, hang on, I've got stuff at home that I need to eat before it goes bad. So I came home and had lunch first. Did I have lunch first? No, I had lunch after I did this. I honestly don't remember. I either had lunch before as soon as I got home, I had lunch, I think. Yes, because I bought this in here and I sat it here with the mail, because this is where I have my letter opener. And I sat the bag here on the desk. That's what I was looking for. And then after I had lunch, I came and sat in here on the recliner with my feet up, and I had the bag there and I had the cards there, and so I was able to open up this and then open up the cards, and this sat on the armrest next to me. I haven't tried it on the stand yet. I'm still deciding where I'm going to put it on the stand, where it'll be safe, but definitely need to make sure I keep the box for transportation down to New Zealand. This is a very easy way for me to carry this. I found out afterwards that I could take her ashes down there, but there's a whole process to go through for that. And I was sort of like, yeah, I've got to find a TSA approved urn to put the ashes in. They can't stay in the wooden box that they come in and all of this sort of stuff. And I was just sort of like, that is a lot of hassle. But actually, I'm glad I've got the paw print. Kind of wishing we did this for Gus and Bear as well. I'd love to see Gus's paw print, because Gus's paw print was massive. This is Zephy's print. It's actually bigger than her. No, that's about right. Yeah, Gus's one would have been on a bigger slab of whatever this is that they made it out of, because he had a very big paw print. His paw print, just this piece here for Gus, took up the entire size of my palm of my hand. It was big. It was massive. So anyway, so we brought that home and just spent the afternoon there with reminiscing with memories and looking at the cards people had sent and spending time sitting with Zephy's paw print while I figure out where it's going to go. But yeah, so today marked a week since she passed. I got to bring home her paw print today, buckled it in the seat like I always did because it just felt wrong sitting it on the front seat next to me. It felt wrong putting it on the front seat next to me. And as I got into the car, and I thought, I'm going to buckle this in the back seat like Zephy did. And that's why I got up and put that in the back and buckled it into the back seat, was because it felt right to do that. Which made going in to get my mail, I was like, oh my gosh, you're not supposed to leave pets in the car. And so this whole thing's going through my head, and it's like, it's okay. It's just a paw print. It's going to be fine. Can't leave pets in the car in the heat. It was already like 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 39 or 40 degrees Celsius. I don't know. I don't remember. It's in the high 30s for Celsius. And but this past week I've felt her presence. I have heard her presence. If you're watching on Tuesday night, you would have seen me suddenly swing around when the curtains behind me squeaked, which only squeaked when she would go in or out of the room. Last night I went to bed and I could hear her snoring. And that's the second time this week that I've gone to bed. And I'm just getting into bed and I stop and I'm like, what's that noise? And just very faintly you can hear her snoring. I was like, that is so cool. So I thanked her for popping in to check up on me. But grief comes in many shapes and forms and all of that. It doesn't arrive with an agenda. It shows up in echoes and rituals and quiet. It could be something as simple of you hear a song, you smell a certain smell, and it triggers those memories of those people who have passed. And we're not just going to be looking at pets that have passed. We're also going to be looking at the human side of it as well. Spouses, loved ones, children. Although I don't have any experience with children passing, I do have experience with a spouse passing and with grandparents and great-grandparents. Yes. And 3 dogs now. But memory lives in motions. It's in the seatbelt clicks. It's in the curtains being pulled. It's in morning routines. There is healing and pausing. Slowing down is not a weakness. It's part of the being whole, is what grief teaches us. It's just, slow down. But also too, what when we honor our losses, we keep the love intact. Our dogs love us unconditionally. Our pets all love us unconditionally. They teach us that. They teach us to be in the moment. And that's one thing I'm always going to remember with Zephy, is her just coming and sitting next to me, just reaching down and scratch it. And then I go back to doing what I'm doing, and she'll put her paw on my leg, and as though to say, come on, you need to get off the computer. You've had enough time on there. Or if I've been on my phone, if I've been sitting on my phone for a while watching videos and stuff, or if I've been on my laptop, she'll come up and put her paw on my leg, as though to say, you've had enough. Let's, come with me. And it's like when we went walking, at first I used to wear my headset and listen to books as I was walking, and Zephy would be everywhere. My arm would be going like this all the time. It would be getting constantly, she was constantly pulling at me. And then one day I suddenly thought, what would happen if I didn't listen to books, if I was just present with Zephy? It was just a random thought that popped into my head. So that day when we went out for a walk, I did not have the headphones on. I did not have anything playing. My phone was in my pocket, and we just went for a walk. And I never pulled my phone out the entire time we were gone on our walk. And Zephy walked beautifully either at my side or just ahead. She never pulled on the leash again. My arm wasn't going like this. I wasn't in a full stretch walk. I was with my arm relaxed at my side. Was it pulled up a little bit? Yeah, because there were times that she would walk ahead of me. And that's what she liked to do. She liked to clear the way and make sure everything was good. But just that simple fact of turning off whatever I was listening to, whether it was music or a book, and just being present in the moment with Zephy as we went walking, she showed her appreciation for that by walking beautifully on her leash. She taught me to slow down. One of the pictures that I put into that batch of 73 that I put up last Sunday has her sniffing at a black-eyed pea, a black-eyed Susan, a flower. It was the only time I caught her on camera doing that. Most of the time my phone was in and never came out. This time we were staying at a winery, and We were going on an evening walk, and I was taking pictures of what was going on around us and the sunsets and that sort of thing. It was just absolute. It was beautiful and so peaceful at this place. You never really heard any traffic, because there wasn't a lot of traffic on the road that this RV park was on. I never saw anybody else in the RV park. There were 8 residents in that RV park. I never saw one of them, and we're lined up 1 through 10, and they had 2 that was for transient, but never saw or heard another person at the park. You'd see their cars there, but you'd never see any people walking around. You'd hear their cars go, but you'd never see people walking around. And it was just this beautiful place. I was taking pictures of it, and I happened to stop to take a picture of something, and I turned around, and there was Zephy with her nose in a flower. So I snapped that picture. That is the only picture I have of her sniffing flowers. But she would do that constantly. She loved springtime. Springtime came, and she'd be sniffing all the flowers in the garden. We would have a little trouble walking because she wanted to stop and sniff the flowers, and that was okay. It was okay. I was there with her, and I could see she wanted to stop and smell the flowers. And I think that was around the same time I challenged myself in the campground that we were at the time. Was as we're going around the campground, just take pictures of unusual things. You know, people, because some people did their gardens really well for those that were in the park models, and others had nothing there. But some of them had some really cool bits and pieces. And so far, I think it was like 30 days. I think it was. We just posted random pictures of stuff we'd taken whilst walking around the park. What we'd seen is walking around the park. So we honor the loss. We keep the love intact. We embrace the slow days. We make room for renewal. We let the memories rise naturally. We soften into grace. How we carry this forward? By keeping our hearts open even when they ache. By choosing rest when it calls. Absolutely. That's why I didn't get out of bed till 10 o'clock this morning. Even then I was reluctant to it, but I thought, well, I have to go to the bathroom. That's the only reason I got up at 10 o'clock this morning, because my bladder says I need to be emptied, please. By bringing our companion with us in new ways, in story, in symbol, in stillness. That's how we can keep carrying forward, never forgetting who they were. There's a quote that I put up earlier tonight on my Instagram page, and it said something about what was that? What was the the quote I put up today was, she's gone from my sight, but never from my story. Those that we lose may have gone from our sight, but they will never be erased from our story. They will always be a part of our story, and we remember them in the stories that we tell about them, in the memories that we share. Sometimes there's a story that just comes out because it needs to come out at that point in time. So remember that. And with the legacy connection, Zephy was by my side for 2,080 days out of the, where are we up to, 2,194 days that we've shown up together. So she was there with me for 280 out of 2,194. Yeah, 2,080. Yeah, that's right. She was more than a companion. She was part of the rhythm, the spark, the heartbeat of this journey. Her paw print is here as a reminder of her love, her loyalty, and her quiet encouragement. She may no longer sit beside me on the couch, but she walks with me still in every spoken word, every porch-light moment, in every act of showing up. Bringing her home today wasn't what I imagined, but it was sacred. The ache is real, but so is the love. And that love carries on. Zephy gave me the courage to keep showing up, and I will. Not because it's easy, but because love is worth showing up for. Oh, hang on. I've got questions for you too. That was my closing comments. So, but I'm going to give you questions anyway. They're in the description down below. And our questions are: what everyday rituals bring back memories of someone you've loved and lost? What do you honor the presence of? How do you honor the presence of someone who is no longer physically with you? What does bringing someone home mean to you in moments of deep grief or remembrance? When has rest helped you move through something you couldn't yet put into words? And I'm going to read that closing thought again because it's really cool and I love it. And it's who she is. Bringing Zephy home today wasn't what I imagined, but it was sacred. The ache is real, but so is the love, and the love carries on. Zephy gave me the courage to keep showing up, and I will. Not because it's easy, but because love is worth showing up for. And with that, we are out of here. Go out and have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Pacific because it is Monday and I have a class on. So we'll catch you.